Buxton. And defender number 26, Giovanni Vasquez. The Wolverines are led by head coach Greg Moss. He's assisted by Matt Hellinger, Michael Chesler, and Johnny Broadhead.
Welcome to Clyde Field on this rainy evening in Orem, Utah, where you have the visiting Incarnate Word out of San Antonio. The Cardinals here visiting. We will have the national anthem here shortly, and kickoff will be right after that. As you get a picture of the field right there. Very unique rendition of the national anthem as we will get set to get underway. The Cardinals come into this game in 4-4 in conference, which currently sit in 4th place. Your Utah Valley Wolverines currently sit in 2nd place with a record of 5-2-1. This weekend is a huge matchup. My name is Sean Blymiller. I'll be on the play-by-play. I'm joined alongside with Veronica O'Brien. Tell us about this weekend, Veronica.
This was a tough weekend for the Wolverines, although they got some points and were excited coming back from a 3-2 win against Grand Canyon, and then had a heartbreaker on Sunday against UNLV in an overtime loss. So tonight is, as you mentioned, a critical game for them, not only to still stay a little bit in the hunt for the regular season title, but more importantly for them at this time to get the top 2 seeds leading into the conference championships to get a bye.
Like you mentioned, the top 2 seeds, number 1 and 2, get an automatic berth into the semifinals of the WAC tournament in Kansas City this next month. And currently, like I mentioned, the Wolverines are in 2nd place. They play Incarnate Word tonight, and then next weekend, Seattle University, the Red Hawks come here. So important weekend. Incarnate Word goes to Seattle on Sunday. So on Sunday, we will be Cardinal fans, I think, for the Wolverine local. Want them to steal some points from the leaders.
Absolutely. Seattle's going to have to add or tie or lose that game to give the Wolverines a chance at the regular season title. So certainly you're right. We'll be cheering for those Cardinals. But right now, I know the Wolverines are looking at the match right in front of them. This is an important match for them tonight.
They'll try to make amends from last weekend's loss to UNLV, who currently sit in 3rd place just behind the Wolverines, and we're getting going. Early picture of the left-hand side of the field. The front line of the Cardinals come with a pack-a-punch of attack. You mentioned that, Veronica, early on, with a lot of points coming from those front runners.
Yeah, they certainly do. They have some key players, especially Noah Keats, who was out a little bit injured last season. He's back and being a leading goal scorer for them. So there's certainly someone the Wolverine backline is going to have to pay attention to tonight.
And their forward, number 10, big, tall guy, has 7 assists, which is good for 2nd in the conference. Aaron Meyer, your Wolverine center midfielder, leads the conference with 8 assists. There's Skylar Milne with the team-high 7 goals on the year. Getting into the attack early. Sure, there's going to be a lot of missteps with this wet surface and the rain coming down.
Yeah, Coach Moss earlier prior to the game said, these are going to be 2 great teams playing tonight, but it is going to be the team that adjusts early.
Oh, and an early shot from Skylar Milne, saved off the line after a miscue from Kieran O'Brien. UVU back into the attack. And there's Connor Salmon from distance, really testing O'Brien. Salmon scored his first goal this last weekend against Grand Canyon to lead that comeback when they went down 2-0 early on in the first half. They're able to come storming back to get 3 consecutive goals to take that lead into halftime, and they were able to secure that.
Yeah, Coach Motch talked about how great Connor's been playing this year in the center midfield. They take a lot of stats, and he's in the 80% range in terms of ball winning success, and so he's really excited about that when he's contributed this season.
Ball served into the midfield, a couple of touches, and there's Aaron Meyer. Early possession, Giovanni Vasquez trying to find Austin Buxton on the left-hand side, far side from viewers. He loses possession, and here are the Cardinals trying to come back. Alex Neff steps into that gap. And here's Moore combining with Gallegos, and Camarena serves to that far side and settled to the top of the box. This will be a goal kick. Both teams having a couple of chances early on, just 2.5 minutes to start this game. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of goal-scoring opportunities.
I know this is a tough match. You got Incarnate Ward, the Cardinals coming in and having a great season last year. They finished in the top 3. They're hanging in the top 4 this year, and they've got something to prove, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to qualify this year for the WAC championships due to their transition to Division I. So they can play a little more free in some respects.
Yeah, they're currently, like I mentioned, sitting in 4th place. Last year they had a chance to win the conference, came down to the last couple of games. Head coach Vince Martinez has done a very good job where he took over as interim head coach 2011, had 2 years in Division II before they jumped to Division I 2013. And there is that transitional period of 4 years before they can participate in the WAC conference tournament. So they can win a league championship, but they can't go on to the WAC tournament. But here we go, back into action. Austin Buxton winning possession back for the Wolverines. Chandler Badley trying to find Carson Payton. And the Cardinals will switch from right to left across the back line. Here's Camarena trying to find Moore. Big center back Joe Brown finds Alex Hoyle. Alex Hoyle was a nominee for WAC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance this last weekend. They were able to win against Houston Baptist 3-1. Houston Baptist being one of the losses for the Wolverines. So, offside flag is raised. Set piece coming for the Wolverines. Restart from Alex Neff. Good to see him on the field, especially after the last home match. He took a hard knock. Veronica, you said it was a deep bone bruise.
Yeah, Alex definitely has had his knocks this season, but he's tough, and you can always count on him to be in there, being consistent, and doing a great job for them.
Aaron Meyer combining with Skylar Milne. Aaron back into the match. Aaron not part of the UNLV game because of a red card he received from Grand Canyon matchup. Here's a couple of miscommunication in the back for Incarnate Word. They're able to bail themselves out. And there's Alex Hoyle, aforementioned WAC Defensive Player of the Week nominee. Austin Buxton trying to find Chandler Badley, but his pass goes awry, and here's Alex Neff getting stuck in on a tackle. There's your number 9, Ben Conway, with 5 goals and 3 assists on the year. He shoots from distance. That was a teasing ball. Almost looked like he caught Colin Partee on that near post. That goes wide. Partee has 4 shutouts on the year. Significant player and contributor with 1,125 minutes. The 0.96 goals against average. RT puts it back into play, and this is out of play for a throw-in. See a good look of the sidelines. Most fans are probably watching from their computers. Glad that you can join us on this Halloween Eve. It was a trunk or treat you might have missed out on.
I was going to tell you, I'm a character from Frozen tonight.
There you go. Both of us, Veronica and I, are trying to stay warm. As I mentioned, it is coming down. Might not be able to tell from the screen. Just a consistent downpour. Not too heavy, but there's Austin Buxton trying to play a slotted ball to Skylar Milne. This is dangerous, almost won by Aaron Meyer.
Yeah, Aaron Meyer has been named the mid-season top 20 freshman in the country by Top Drawer Soccer this year.
College Soccer News had him as number 7 in the nation to start the season. A lot of people taking note of his ability. This year being a standout year for the Wolverines, their second year in existence. They did reach all the way up to the number 23 in National Soccer Coaches poll. Here's Carson Payton. That's a decent cutting ball to Skylar Milne that goes underneath him. Almost finds Hoffmeister. There's Alex Neff running through a header. Here's Moore on his left foot. Marshall Miller's campaigning for that to be his ball, but it will be Cardinals' possession. Jonathan Camarena puts it back in play for Gallegos. Skylar challenging with Keats. Here's Keats outside the foot trying to find more, but streaking the other way is now Alex Neff. Carson Payton isolated 1v1. Can he beat his marker? Little bridge touch trying to beat his player, but it's cut off. That's big Alex Hoyle standing strong in that 1v1 challenge. Good ball from Marshall Miller right in that gap for Skylar Milne.
Yeah, Skylar's looking to connect a few passes getting picked off there, but he's got some good looks to his teammates inside.
He's popped up into good spots right in near the penalty box, top of the 18. Skylar had a couple of chances in the UNLV game to draw the game late. Here's our first set piece of the game.
You can hear Coach yelling out from the sideline, tell Skylar to stop being so unselfish and go for it. He's been trying to connect little small passes inside the 18s, looking for him to shoot.
Yeah, Greg Moss, and he'll highlight his players in certain parts of the field. In attacking third, he wants players to go 1v1, and he's telling Skylar Milne to do exactly that. Go at the defender. Here's Aaron Meyer on the ball, and he is extremely dangerous on set pieces. Ball served in, initial touch, but Skylar Milne gets up and goal for the 8th goal of the year from Skylar Milne. There's 1-0 for your Utah Valley Wolverines. This is where Skylar's size comes in such a huge advantage. Might get another look here shortly, but Skylar stands at a 6'4". And I've been calling Kieran O'Brien, but it's Kieran O'Boyle. My apologies. Number 1, Kieran O'Boyle stands at 6'2".
Goal scored by number 5, Skylar Milne.
It's a great start. There's a touch. Brought to you, replay brought to you by WAC Digital Network. Back to live action. Alonzo Gallegos trying to find more. Ball hung up, you could tell by the wind. Just kept the ball up in the air. Austin Buxton not happy about the tackle he just received. Buxton could be in. Oh, unfortunate. Good timing on tackle. Camarena, goal-saving tackle from him. Here's Carson Payton from distance shot, just over the top.
Yeah, it's great to see the confidence Skylar Milne's playing with. I mean, last year he was in that holding midfield, 6-8 position. Now he's on the attack playing forward. He's just doing a great job.
Touch, but Skylar Milne gets up and goal initial pressure for the 8th. But Skylar Milne is there to clean it up and bury that chance. Yeah, he's been such an influential player in these opening 2 years for the Wolverines, like you mentioned, as that holding mid. Last year, nobody could win the challenges in the midfield, the duels, won so many 50-50 tackles, but now he's called on to go and score goals. Cardinals combining, but there's Alex Neff stepping into the gap again, finding Giovanni. Marshall Miller now finds Colin Partee. This is trouble with wet surface. Colin Partee's touch gets away, so he just bangs it away from pressure.
I was just thinking that's a tough back pass with this wet surface and the ball being so slick.
It's a good initial pressure from the Cardinals. They forced Marshall Miller backwards. Here's Camarena. Service from the left-hand side. And again, the wet surface plays a role on Gallegos' service. Partee spills the first, was able to recover it. This could be a chance for Carson. You saw him streaking on this right-hand side. It falls to the hands of Kieran O'Boyle. Miscommunication mishap. This is dangerous. This is Moore. 5 goals, 1 assist on the year. Faced up against Marshall Miller. Moore gets down past Marshall, but Alex Neff comes over to help. Here's a corner for the Cardinals. Match. There's the replay of the goal again. And the service, bending ball, drops about the 6. Skylar Milne's there to head it clear. This will put back into play by Keats. Dangerous teasing ball. Colin Partee off his line. He's able to parry it away. Cardinals hold him in. Here's Gallegos. Now Keats. This is Zendejas. Alex Neff clears it. Wolverines are having a hard time breaking this pressure and winning possession back. Cardinals are holding them in. Gallegos. Slotted ball, but Colin Partee comes out to collect. Hoffmeister has a streaking player on his left-hand side. Here's Carson Payton, Austin Buxton to his right. Skylar Milne almost finds his back leg, and Hoffmeister was there too.
That coach talked earlier on about the Wolverines wanting to win possession to get out and transition quickly and go delivering quickly on the attack, and that was a good example of them getting forward quickly on the attack.
Good example of a counterattack, just not the finished product. Maybe one pass, not good enough. Whistle for offside, I assume. Wind picking up slightly. Center referee hit with the ball, but we play on. And here's Hoffmeister running at the back line, skating by 1, finding Austin Buxton. Good first touch with his right. Preparation touch with his left, and goes down, and center referee has none of that. Here's Moore. Ben Conway finds Keats. Now on the opposite side is this Caleb Wright. Serve far post, but Partee off to collect. We're in a track meet.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Both
Both
teams
teams
running at each other.
transitioning out, counterattacking very quickly.
And just as I say that, Hoffmeister steps on the ball back into possession. Chandler Badley stretches the field to this right-hand side. You can see the effect the wind has on the play. Gio's trying to find back to Hoffmeister. Good challenge from Alex Neff. Kelly combining with his midfield Gallegos. Now Keats. Kelly on the turn. Players slipping all over the place. And another corner. Second of the half. Here's the impending service. Bending right at the 6. Dangerous ball. Looks like Marshall Miller does well enough to stand strong. To clear this away. Is this a throw or a corner? Looks like a throw. Buxton combining with Peyton. Here's Carson. He's faster. Looks like he's matched up against Alex Hoyle. Alex Hoyle does well on the angle. Carson Peyton finding Connor Salmon. Lets it go through Aaron Meyer.
Yeah, Carson's last touch there let him down just a little to keep going around that outside defender. Had to pull back in.
There's Hoffmeister trying to blow by his defender, but it's poked away. I have to say, Incarnate Word has done well in these conditions, being out of San Antonio. Not maybe used to this type of cold. More possession now from the Wolverines, right to left. Here's Hoffmeister facing up his defender. And Skylar Millen, good diagonal run to find this. Finding back to Hoffmeister. Good patience from Aaron Meyer. Chandler Badley trying to stretch him. And that pass is not good enough to find Skylar Milne, but Aaron Meyer is able to keep the ball. Cardinals sitting in with a lot of players behind the ball, making it difficult getting forward. What do you think of the first opening 20 minutes, Veronica?
Well, you know, if you're looking for an exciting, fast-paced match, it's definitely going on. But you know, both teams, they're both technically very good teams. I mean, they're trying to get control of the ball, and it's taking a little extra level of concentration on normal, natural touches just because of the weather conditions. But you know, so far, you know, both teams I think are playing all right. Certainly trying to just get some control in the match here.
This surface is much different. Ball moves quicker, a little bit of a skip, so the ball might be at a different height. Here's a shot from Connor. That's not a bad try from him. Forces O'Boyle into a huge save.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to yell into the sideline. You know, with the conditions right now, the Wolverines got a little bit of the breeze going their direction right now, and the rain's coming down those sideways. Why not take some cracks? You know, you don't know what's going to happen under these conditions. Something can slip through, and they certainly are getting those opportunities in that pocket there. Cardinals are leaving a little space there for the Wolverines to take those shots. They just got to take more advantage of them.
That wet grass, wet surface will be difficult for the goalkeepers to anticipate the flight of the ball. We saw that a little bit of a skip that Boyle did well to handle. And here's a near post service. Good timing on tackle by Austin Buxton. Little back heel shot from Buxton, back across the face. Back line of the Cardinals have some time to get forward. And this should be picked off for the Wolverines. Gio looking for options going forward. Little chip ball down the line, stays in play. Aaron Meyer coming back to the ball, winning it out of the air, and here's back to Aaron Meyer again.
Aaron has such great touch and vision on the field. It's all great players. Nothing phases them. Weather, nothing.
Well, I'm so surprised by his confidence on the ball. He could have two guys running at him, but doesn't show any shaken confidence at all, any hesitation what he's going to do. Cardinals trying to play out of the back, out of pressure. Skyler providing that first initial phase of trying to win the ball back. Good tackle, we play on. Ball falls again to the feet of Skyler. Space for Carson to have a shot. He slots in Hoffmeister. Oh, I don't know. That was close.
It was a good look, but I thought he was going to have a strike there.
I did too. I'd like to see the replay of the slotted ball to get a better idea of the onside or offside line. I thought he was on, but sometimes when you shoot from distance like that, it opens up that slotted ball for those secondary runs. It's a difficult ball to hit from Giovanni. He's trying to find Hoffmeister on that far side, but that's cut off by number 8, Caleb Wright. Entry ball. Here's a chance for Buxton. He tries to cut it back across to the penalty spot. It should be a clearance from the Cardinals and held in by the Wolverines. Maybe we'll take a quick look at the replay of that last play from Carson Payton. I think it's Hoffmeister. I think he's even. Make your own opinion. Either way, he doesn't finish the opportunity, but flag had already been raised. Here's Connor getting involved. Good turn from Skylar Milne. Coach Greg Moss said, University of Incarnate Word are an organized quality side and will need to complete a performance to solidify our position in the WAC standings. It has been an incredibly long stretch on the road, and it's nice to finally be home in front of our 12th Wolverine. And obviously the weather playing a huge factor in that crowd tonight.
Yeah, they're excited to be home, and they've got a really great schedule to help kind of recover a little bit. This is the only match they have this week, and then next weekend they host number 15 Seattle, number 1 leading the conference before they hit the road for the WAC championship. So it is nice to be home and get some rest prior to those championship matches.
Giovanni had such a great tackle there because I believe it was Kelly was setting up his left foot for a shot from distance, and Aaron Meyer has some space in front of him. Skylar Millen is in offside position. This Incarnate Word is a dangerous team. They're averaging 2.7 goals per game. They've outscored their opponents 29-19.
Yeah, Coach Martinez for the Cardinals has done a really good job in transitioning them through this Division I transition, if you will. And just had a lot of success this season.
Austin Buxton flicking to Skylar Milne. Now Incarnate Word back into possession in the attacking third. Chandler Badley there but he slips. Here's Moore. Shot, pass across the face, but this is held in. Here's Moore again, and there's a tackle. Aaron Meyer springs everyone forward. Here's Skylar Milne onto his inside of his right foot. And that's got to be a foul. No whistle.
That's surprising.
Sometimes his size is his own detriment. He did get fouled there, I believe. Moore trying to take on Chandler Badley, but Chandler does well in the tackle.
Chandler, who are you going in for?
Here's Carson Payton cutting to the inside. He's got 3-4 defenders in front of him. Here's Hoffmeister. On his right foot, shot, goal!
Wolverine goal!
Every time I see the ball in Hoffmeister's foot right inside there, he's just a clinical technician finishing. Just quality finish and patience.
Hoffmeister, we'll get another look at that here shortly. Just faces up his defender, gets the defender leaning one way, comes back to his right, and is able to slot that to the far post. And our goal scorers, Veronica, are our academic all-district members, District 18.
Yes, being on the academic side, I like to brag about them. Definitely, Skylar and Paul Hoffmeister have been named by the COSIDA College Sports Information Directors of America for the academic all-district 8-men soccer team. And the neat thing is both of them get to be candidates on the national ballot for academic all-American. So that's really exciting for them.
That is a huge accomplishment for them and the program. You yourself, Veronica O'Brien, helping along in the academic side. As we see a substitution for the Cardinals, Andrew Grossman, number 19, enters the match for number 4, Alonzo Gallegos. Substitution, Skylar Milne off for Chandler Boyd. Carson Payton, 1v1. A little bit of contact. I don't know if the shoelaces got tangled up, but that was a strange fall from from Carson Payton. Chandler Badley with his back to goal finds Giovanni. Connor Salmon wins this. Head it forward to Carson Payton. Ball held in by the wind. Connor coming over to help. Carson using his body well, cutting to the inside. Here's Aaron Meyer. Bringing Alex Neff in. Looks like Marshall Miller and Chandler Badley have switched sides. So Marshall on the ball. Finds Austin Buxton. Good touch. Check that. That was Chandler Boyd finding Austin Buxton. And Austin running up the back line. Tries to serve the ball the outside of his foot, but this hits the defender in the face. And here's the goal from Hoffmeister. Tucks it to that far side netting. Veronica, the substitution coming in is Donette Saki. What do you like about this player?
Well, he's a young freshman this year. He's very athletic. He got a little slower start to the season as he got cleared almost probably midway through the non-conference season. So he's still trying to find a little bit of his footing, but he's got great speed and just a nice attacking mentality up front.
He's originally out of the Sierra Leone. He was born there. During the Civil War, his family fled to Western African countries, spent a lot of time in Ghana, 6 years there. He talks a lot about how him and his friends made soccer balls out of plastic. They didn't have any shoes, but they used the game to kind of escape reality. At the end of the Civil War, the United Nations gave his family $200 to start a new life in Liberia. That's where he went to school. And here he is on the ball, serving to the far side. Quote from him is, "I'm not the smartest student ever, but I believe once you have an education, nothing can hold you back."
We had the privilege to work with him this summer. He joined part of our summer bridge program, worked hard academically and trying to get himself brought up to speed, and right now he's doing well in school and just a nice young man.
Athletic director Jared Sumsin was so excited for him to get his first start or first minutes this season a couple weeks back and be a consistent contributor.
I hate that guy.
There's Hoffmeister trying to find spring forward Saki. So the depth of the Wolverines is something to be mentioned. Every game this season, there's been a couple of different players coming off the bench. Chandler Boyd seeing maybe most of his minutes on the road, but seeing him come in tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You attribute that to great recruiting, great work by these young men in the off season and during the season. It's nice for them to have that, to be able to have those many players that can step in the field and not lose what they're doing. So a lot of great factors go into that.
Cardinals back into possession. Keats goes to this far side. Can't tell if that's Zendejas, but he's service into the box. You can see the flight of the ball just change. Here's Moore, and Colin Partee just stands so strong. He probably got kicked in the chest right there.
Yeah, if I'm Partee right now, I'd probably give a little shout to my back line right now, letting a lot of balls hang out in the air there, not getting full clearances on them.
Moore did very well to beat Chandler Badley with his touch. Here's number 9, Conway. Moore has some space. It's on his left foot. Cuts to the outside. Chandler Badley does well to slide tackle and time that so well.
Also great coverage by Alex Neff in behind him there.
This is the third corner of the half. This is Keats, leading point leader. 9 goals, 4 assists on the ball. Serves it in, punched out by Partee. Here's Austin Buxton. He's kind of waiting for Chandler Boyd and his front line to give him options, but just clears that away from danger. There's Camarena coming back to his center back. Good checking run from Moore to get it. This is Grossman. That's a great touch from number 9, Ben Conway. He's still on the ball, beating 2 players as he gets forward. Here's another service cross. This should fall to the feet of Buxton. He has some space. Not a place to give up the ball, though. Grossman winning it off him. But Buxton does well to win it back. Here's Saki. Can this ball stay in? He's able to keep it in play. Joe Brown coming. Initial clearance. Aaron Meyer trying to change the point of attack, but Ben Conway picks it off and starts dribbling the other way. Zendejas finding his midfield. Again, this is Grossman. Now Camarena finding more. Grossman finding Ben Conway. More to Camarena. Left-footed service. That falls to the feet.
Yeah, during that series, Coach Moss is yelling to them to step up a little more. They're starting to sink there a little bit defensively.
Well, a couple of substitutions. Thomas Loomis and Diego Serna coming in for Austin Buxton and Connor Salmon. We also have Victor Galindo coming in for Paul Hoffmeister.
Wolverines substitution. Number 15, Paul Hofmeister. Checking in is number 28, Victor Galindo.
Another substitution, this one for the Cardinals, number 23, Trinidad Luna. This is number 18, Sendeja. Ball you see going over the inline. Should be a goal kick. We are 2-0 in the opening half of this WAC league play. Goals coming from Skylar Milne and Paul Hoffmeister. I'm Sean Bleimuller on the play-by-play. I've got Veronica O'Brien with me as our color analyst. We are trying to stay warm. You might not be able to tell by camera. It is windy, it is cold and rainy, impacting the game. And here we are going the other way. Chance for more. But what a confident, strong, good timed tackle from your captain, Alex Neff.
We were talking about the toughness of Alex. He got a little bump. He's limping back, and he makes that run all the way down to make that critical tackle. Just such a strong, strong player.
Handball whistled here. A restart for the Wolverines. And Veronica, you probably know this better than anyone. Growing up in Canada, the cold there, a tackle in cold weather doesn't always feel nice.
Well, you know, I don't think we had these long tights back then. So they're probably a little bit up. But you're right, the wind has picked up in the rain, and it's just certainly hard to keep your muscles warm and going. You know, when there's some dead play and stuff, these players are starting again. You can see a little bit of stiffness, trying to get going again.
So are you saying that these boys need to toughen up? These
Don't
tights?
you know girls are tougher? Just kidding. The women's soccer team's cheering me on for that comment right now.
There's Saki. Here's a chance. Oh, awkward bounce on O'Boyle.
You know, the thing I always found in cold weather is that's so much. It's the breathing. It's just the cold air going into the lungs and
Oxygen, lack of oxygen, you would say, or
just cold air on the lungs.
okay.
We could add in the altitude, I guess, if you want here.
Camarena going back to his goalkeeper, Kieran O'Boyle. He's going to his right-hand side. Here's Keats coming back into possession. Brown, Moore, and Camarena on this left-hand side. Moore gets it now on his left. Alex Neff trying to step in. This is Ben Conway cutting ball. But Giovanni stands strong in the right place. Thomas Loomis cutting to the inside. This is Victor Galindo. Good patience from him. waiting for his numbers to join in the attack. Diego Serna, Victor Galindo again. Aaron Meyer taking his time, taking care of the ball to kill a couple seconds, build confidently and cautiously to secure this 2-0 lead. Chandler Badley finding Thomas Loomis, cutting inside. Here's Badley. Thomas Loomis giving a ball away in a bad spot, and this is a chance for the Cardinals to streak. Keats along the right-hand side. This is your substitute that just entered the match. Luna. Ball comes right to Colin Partee. Thomas Loomis has space, and he finds Aaron Meyer, finds him on this crossfield ball. That's 2 balls. Loomis is trying to cut back to his midfield. He's giving away.
Yeah, just he's making some good runs. Just got to get his first touch a little cleaned up.
Wolverine substitution, number 6, Marshall Miller. Please welcome number 17, Hayden Pemberton. Wolverine goal scored by number 9, Damet Saki.
We are in the opening half. Be interesting to see how the Wolverines close out this half. 2 minutes left. No need to press the issue. This ball held in by Aaron Meyer, but then his touch.
Yeah, the last couple of minutes on the attack here, they just got to need to be a little bit cleaner in their passes and their decisions here.
And Veronica, you being a former coach, conference Big West Coach of the Year, what would you be telling your team at this moment?
Well, I kind of agree. I can hear Coach Libby on the sideline. He's talking about, especially his outside flanks here, just being a little cleaner in their touches, making some better decisions in that final third going down the stretch here, because they're making some passes that are Not overly dangerous, but dangerous enough that Incarnate Ward is a strong enough team to get going quickly back on the counterattack. So just, taking care of the ball is what I'd be telling them the last couple minutes here leading into the half.
We've already seen some significant changes. Here's Donette Saki finding Chandler Boyd. That one off of him by Keats. He's trying to find more. That's not a bad ball, but Chandler badly does well to cut the angle. Thomas Loomis has some time to turn if he does it quickly. He beats Keats. He's trying to find Victor Galindo.
Yeah, Chandler's done a great job back here. He actually got switched over here to have a better matchup with Moore as they've been coming down this left side quite a bit, match up with the pace.
Here's his service. Camarena trying to find the top of the 18. Goes all the way to that far side. This is number 23, Trinidad Luna. And that will be more than likely the end of the first half. And that's how we stand. 3-0. Goals again for Skylar Milne, Paul Hoffmeister, and Donette Saki getting his first collegiate goal. What are your closing thoughts of the first half?
Well, I think, if I'm Incarnate Ward, I think I have to get back to what I was doing at the start of the game. They were keeping better possession of the ball, and they had pockets of time there where they were going at the Wolverines. But, UVU's has been well organized defensively, and Incarnate Ward got away from it and started playing a little direct. And I don't think you're going to outbeat the back line in a foot race. Something's going to have to happen. So I think they're going to have to get back to what they're doing and look to take a risk early to get themselves back into this match. And the Wolverines, it's always dangerous when you're at home, you're up 3-0, and you get in that comfort zone a little. They got to lock back in, and as you know, the good old saying, 0-0 game, start of the second half.
How important is that third goal in that opening half?
Well, the nice thing about it, you talked earlier about the depth of UVU, and when you get up with a lead like that, it allows you to rest some of your key players that have been impactful for you, and keep your team sharp throughout the match. So I think that's really key to have a little bit of that insurance goal and allows you to settle down and try to get more into your obviously your style of play and what you're trying to accomplish on the attack.
And there's a look again at Donette Saki in celebration. His goal assisted by Aaron Meyer. I think Aaron might be 2 assists. One was a slight deflection, so I don't know if that one will count. But a good half from the Wolverines, and they stand 3-0. We will rejoin you here on the WAC Digital Network here right after halftime. Make sure you join us back. We'll be back shortly.
Speed, precision, and determination of elite student athletes will be on display. Witness the intensity of an NCAA championship. It all comes down to this moment, and the winner takes it all. Be there to share the experience with your family and friends. The 2015 Men's College Cup, December 11th and 13th at Sporting Park in Kansas City. Visit
Green Mag Group. All right, it looks like they're ready to join us on the field for tonight's halftime entertainment. Please enjoy a game of soccer between our friends from the Mascot Miracle Foundation.
It's 100 degrees. I don't know. I think 100 most degrees. People would too, yeah, but I don't know about me. 100 degrees. I don't know about me. 100 degrees and no sun, I'll take. 100 degrees with the sun, I'll take it this. I don't blow. No. It's, you know what? It's a rich man's deal. It's a rich man. No, not at all. Okay. I am like so cold.
Me too.
Yeah, that makes it work.
This is a nice coop.
I have friends in Canada that are watching the game. They heard you about the Canada and everything. They're like, we're in tights. So are you?
I love that. That was so funny.
They're listening to it.
That's
My
great.
brother and his friend, he goes, we're putting tights on to keep warm for you. He goes, all we see is pouring rain.
Back when I played, we didn't wear tights.
Do we have tights? No,
Funny,
let me
you
tell
know
you.
what? I remember putting on long johns though in a snow game, and it was my mom just gave me so much crap. She's like, "You really want to go out there like that?" I'm like, "It's cold. I'm going out there in my long underwear. I don't care."
We would train at Ivor Stadium on turf, and it'd be like minus 20 out. And I'd just be like, the ball would hit you, and you're like,
Oh,
oh.
that's gotta hurt so bad. Oh my god.
19. Everyone else is 24, 25, I guess.
I know. I snapped this in my office the other day. He was talking about the store. A bunch of guys here and they're asking me about stuff and like coaching and stuff. And they're like, how old are you?
They had the courage to ask, huh?
I go, did I shatter you? Did you thought I was really young? And he's like, yeah. And I go, no. I said, I'm more close to the 40s. They're like, you still run. I'm like, I'm not dead.
It looks like it's on. I don't. I'm afraid to touch it. Oh, come on over here. Look at it. Montreal and Toronto. You should know that.
No, I'm in the
You're
black.
home country.
My mother, I'm cold. I can't do this for 5 minutes. And we lost my partner.
Experience our incredible building and world-class customer service. We're your one-stop shopping place for everything Harley. Remember, we rock, so you know. Fans, like the official Facebook page of Wolverine Athletics and check out the fan photo album by visiting facebook.com/Utah Valley Wolverines. Tonight's game is sponsored by Intermountain. Tonight's game is in part sponsored by Intermountain, Utah Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official providers for the UVU Wolverines. Our top tier healthy athlete is back in the game. Fans, be sure to join us back here at Clyde Field on Saturday, November 7th, as the men's soccer team finishes up their home season versus Seattle U. The match begins at 7 p.m.
Welcome back to Clyde Field. As you see, the Wolverines have their first run onto the field from associate head coach Matt Ellinger. View of the Incarnate Ward Cardinals already ready on the pitch, and here's the replay from the first half. Walk us through these goals, Veronica.
Well, that's a goal by Skylar Milne, who got up really well into the air there. And then Paul Hoffmeister, just a good clinical finish to the far post, and then Donna got slipped through, and for his first college goal, I believe. Donazaki, as he's celebrating his first college goal.
Great to see the joy and jubilation from him. Aaron Meyer does have 2 assists to add to his tally of 10 on the year, leading the WAC. And the Wolverines are up 3-0 in the opening half. Just about ready to get underway. Head referee Alberto Montalvo whistles us into play.
It's warmed up out here.
Keep telling yourself that. It's a mental state. Both teams leaving the field of play during halftime to hopefully get some refuge and get some warmth. More of the wind playing into the advantage of the Cardinals. Be interesting to see the second half how they take advantage of that. You see the impact of the wind right there. 2 half clearances from Aaron Meyer, and then Alex Neff just spinning out to the out wide. Looks like Andrew Grossman remains in the lineups, as does number 23, Trinidad Luna. He's on the ball now. Long throw in into the box, flick to the far post. And that was not far off. Just a slight touch, but goes wide. Looks like Peyton Pepperton, who entered the game late in the second half, is on the left outside back. Chandler Badley is on the right. There's Trinidad. This is number 9, Ben Conway. Service to the far post. And I have to tell you, Peyton does just good enough to impact Trinidad on this touch.
Yeah, it was a little bit of this breeze now at the back of the Cardinals. I mean, the Wolverines are surely going to have to make sure they track and get that inside run, because the ball's going to carry just a little quicker coming across.
Colin Partee might have had his heartbeat race a little bit in the flight of that ball. Looked like Trinidad could have an easy finish, but Peyton Pepperton does just enough. And there's the wind again playing a role, but Hoffmeister chests it down, trying to keep it in play. Another long throw from Luna. This should fall to the feet of Colin Partee for a goal kick. Like we mentioned, this is the only matchup for the weekend for the Wolverines. Maybe a good chance for them to catch up on some schoolwork and heal up some knocks, some injuries as they prepare for their final WAC Conference League game next week against Seattle University.
Yeah, you're right. It is so key when they're home, not just, resting for games, but You're right, getting caught up in schoolwork. It's a lot when they're coming off the road at 2 o'clock in the morning and trying to get back into classes, which is expected of them, and keep up their academics. And this team has done a really good job with that. And this team does one of the top teams at our university in GPAs, and coach really stresses their academics.
Here's Alex Neff picking off an important ball, and Aaron Meyer keeps possession. What he does ever so well is this ball stay in play. Skyler does keep it in. He's in foot race with it, his defender, but his touch lets him down. You know, there's goes to say that being at home, sleeping in your own bed, being amongst family and friends, eating your traditional meals and food plays a role on athletes. There's Ben Conway. And what a great tackle from Alex Neff again.
I used to joke in college I'd love to get on the road because I thought the bed was better than my college bed, so. But you're right.
Here's Austin Buxton. You're going to see his jets. He can take off, trying to turn the corner, almost cuts the ball back. Hoffmeister was trailing. Camarena finding Keats. Now Keats coming to this far side. Is Calum Wright. Skyler has some room. Austin Buxton has space in front of him. Can he beat his defender? It's on his right foot. Keeper is slightly off his line. And here's Buxton's chance. Earns a corner.
You always gotta like when the ball's on Buxton's feet. He's got something exciting to go 1v1. Loves to do that, thrives on it, and does a good job trying to get balls back in front of the face of the goal.
Well, he surprises defenders with his change of pace. It's almost like he hits a second, third gear and takes off. Does good in his preparation touch to shoot. And we've seen that a couple of times in his goals here at Clyde Field this season. Almost saw it just then. This will be a service from Aaron Meyer again. Looked like it took a touch off of Wolverine. Austin Buxton.
Yeah, it was a smart, driven service by Aaron. You know, they got a little bit going into the wind, so the ball wouldn't hang up in the air. It was a good driven ball in.
There's Luna, Keats, Calum Wright. This is Joe Brown to Alex Hoyle. You talked about how the Cardinals were going a lot in counterattack. They have more of a possession style in this second half. And here's Moore on his left foot, cuts inside. This is dangerous. Shot, goal. Backline is yelling at the assistant referee, wanting the flag raised. And we are 3-1.
Yeah, that was a well-needed goal by the Cardinals early in the half to get themselves back into this match. Wolverines are arguing that the player was offside.
Assistant referee will have a conference. This is Ahmed Sadehi with center referee Alberto Montalvo having a conference, not allowing any players involved. And here comes the replay. We'll take another look at it to see what the argument is about. There's more cutting to the inside. There was a pole in the way. We couldn't really tell what happened. Obscured our vision. The goal will stand. Not sure who got the final touch. We'll give you that statistic here shortly. Either way, we are at 3-1. It gives a...
Yeah, I don't think they're arguing offside.
Argument we're hearing from head coach Greg Moss is saying that there's a player in front of Colin Partee that's obscuring his vision of the play, and he's playing an influence in the game, or in the play. He's not getting a touch, but he's blocking the view of goalkeeper Colin Partee, so that should be an offside call. It's up to the referee's discretion, his interpretation of the rule.
Yeah, I think that was a good description you gave there, Sean. I think that's exactly what they're arguing was the obstruction there that led to that little offside.
You know, this year there's been a couple of changes to the offside rule. If a defender makes a
Numbers forward, which back to the way they were in the first half, looked good there.
Carson trying the bridge move a couple of times, which is just playing the ball by the defender and running by them, but both times the defender figuring it out. If you're joining us from San Antonio, welcome in. Hopefully it's warm and cozy for you viewers there. Your Cardinals are down currently 3-1, but the second half has been more positive from them. More possession, more chances and opportunities in the attacking third. Patient build-up. Since the goal, the Wolverines have done a good job of, for the most part, taking care of the ball, building into the attack. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think they're still got to work a little more to get numbers into the attack because they are sitting a little bit back when they lose possession, and so to help them get up a little quicker so they can maintain possession in the attacking third.
There's Aaron Meyer checking into the gap. Grossman reading that. Chandler Badley finding Carson. All but one of the Cardinals are behind the ball. Good turn from Austin Buxton. Get on his right foot. Favored right foot. Goes a little bit wide. Tries to chip the keeper, but O'Boyle just stands strong right to his hands. Hoffmeister just missing that tackle, but here's the Cardinals streaking more, trying to bring this ball down, but this goes out of play. The wind impacting that greatly. A couple of bad touches you can see from the wet surface and the wind still being impactful. Here's Keats finding Caleb Wright. I want to keep saying Caleb Chambers for some reason, but here's Aaron Meyer. Austin Buxton's got one defender to beat in front of him, one trailing on his right foot. A little stop and go, back on his right foot, and a shot. Goal!
Yeah, like when you have some of that confidence, go 1v3 there and still find a way, even with a not so great angle, to put that ball away.
Well, it looked like his stop and go move kept making his angle more and more difficult, but he still finds a way. You hear head coach Greg Moss, as soon as Buxton get the ball, scream, "Get at him," which is a signal for him to go 1v1 with the player and beat him, and that's exactly what Buxton does.
Yeah, it's great to see him have a breakout season. You know, last year he did play some good minutes, not as significant as they are this year, and he's been just a great impact leader for this team this year.
That makes it 6th goal on the season, and here's the replay. A couple of times he makes a couple moves, you think that he's done. He's got 2 players around him, a third helping, but he's able to beat the 3 defenders and the goalkeeper, like Veronica, you mentioned. Marshall Miller checks back in, as does Diego Serna. Coming off is Skylar Milne and Peyton Pepperton.
Yeah, this allows the Wolverines to sit in just a little, not their full intent, but conserve a little energy here and keep the ball in front of them. Make the Cardinals work to get another goal to get back into the match.
Here are the Cardinals, more of a patient build-up. Number 19 came into the match in the first half. Has been very influential, getting the ball a lot in that center midfield between him and Keats. That's good pressure from Carson Payton to help win the ball back. Aaron Meyer with 2 players around him stands strong, uses his body and his arm to fend off the challenge. This is dangerous, but Carson's there to help recover. And we play on. Bit of a collision on that far side. Moore wanted a foul called.
I think it's been a little bit of a refreshing game. The officials actually let them play quite a bit. And it's kept pretty good control, nothing too dangerous out there in tackles and slides.
I agree with you, Veronica. Alberto Montalvo has done an excellent job. Too much stop and go affects the flow and just the rhythm of the game. He's allowed this to just play on. Hoffmeister has space in front of him if Meyer can find him. Serna has Marshall Miller on this side. This is trouble. Heavy pass from Serna. Springs the counterattack for the Cardinals. Hoffmeister doing well to get back. This is a tackle 50-50 duel. Both players committing in the slide.
I can see them.
Yeah, this back line for the Wolverines has actually done a pretty good job, and Coach Moss has the liberty and options to play 4 to 6 players back there through a match, keep them fresh.
Here's Salmon with the clearance. Should be able to push that initial pressure a bit higher. Austin Buxton working hard. Moore trying to bring a ball down, but Chandler Badley had help from Connor Salmon. UVU is 3-0 at home in conference. They're 2-2-1 on the road. I think both of those losses coming in the second game of the weekend. We've talked a lot about that, Veronica, the Sunday match being difficult. Shot from Moore.
Yeah, I think any Sunday match, the second game of a weekend series is always tough enough, and then you're on the road. Makes it even a little tougher. And, you know, this conference is interesting. It's pretty stretched out geographically, and you can be in snow and rain one day and on the Sunday be in 102 degrees playing. So there's certainly a lot of elements to battle through.
Huge advantage for the home side. And here's Luna with the service. Colin Partee with the punch. Carson Payton with space in front of him. Hoffmeister streaking as well. If he can find him, Hoffmeister can time his run. Stay onside. And there is their 5th. Carson Payton on his left, but this is O'Boyle. Aaron Meyer with O'Boyle off his line. Austin Buxton was trying to come across the face and diagonal run.
I know Carson Hoffmeister are going to want that play back.
Hoffmeister took a spill over the goalkeeper. Looked like he landed on his head. Hopefully he's all right. Here's Aaron Meyer. Payton on his right foot. trying to go for that far post, didn't really get all of it. And this is out of play.
Wolverine substitution.
Number 23, Luna, you cannot allow the ball to skip in front of you.
Please welcome back number 9, Donette Saki.
Coming back to the game is number 9, Donette Saki. For the latest goal scorer, number 23, Austin Buxton. Restart throw in from Marshall Miller. Right here next to the booth, as you see Coach Greg Moss give Austin Buxton congratulations. Ben Conway with the turn, but Diego Serna there to win it. The Wolverines got the national recognition in the national coaches poll. This is dangerous. Colin Partee comes off to claim it. After a couple of significant wins, they won here at home against Cal State Fullerton, which is a Big West defending champion. After that victory, this is trouble, another back pass. They made it all the way to the number 23 spot. They fell out of the rankings shortly after an overtime loss to Denver University in Denver.
You know, I'll tell you, Sean, what this program has accomplished in just only being 2 years of Division I's been phenomenal. You know, even if they didn't even go on, their expectations are high. They want to win the WAC and get their first berth in the NCAA tournament. But, you know, even if they didn't, you know, their season's been just amazing.
Already doing better than last year's overall record. They are 12-4-1 this season. I believe they had 9 wins and 7 losses in 2014, their inaugural year.
You know, I've had the honor to build some soccer programs from the ground up, and I was teasing Coach Moss last year, and I was trying to say, hey, you know what? Even if you win 5 games your first year, it's going to be great. And then so knowing how Coach works, that was motivating him to double, triple the next year, and they're way above that this season.
I like to tease him and call him Caleb Porter. Caleb Porter obviously being the head coach of the Portland Timbers, who spent 5 years at Akron and making them a nationally recognized program, sending a lot of the players to the pro ranks. Good win from Alex Neff. You know, Jason Christ, when he was here, he had a lot of, I had an opportunity to be in a bunch of question and answers with him, and he talked a lot about teams taking 3 years to really build themselves to hit their full potential. And I think this year Wolverines have made extreme strides in comparison to 2014. Next year I think will be even more of a complete year, but so much to look forward to in the near and distant future for this program.
Yeah, this program is really young. You know, they only have 1 graduating senior this year that was a transfer in from UMass, and most of them are freshmen and sophomores. So this is going to be a little more of a seasoned team next year as they head into their junior, sophomore years. So a lot of great things to look forward to.
Well, I think a point to games such as against Denver University, where they lost 2-1 in overtime, just this last weekend in UNLV losing 2-1 in overtime. And each one of those matches, they had opportunities. Greg Moss mentioned that they had chances to tie the game late or to get the winners late. And those type of things linger in the mind of athletes, especially standout players like your Skylar Milne, Hoffmeister, Carson Payton. So they know their next opportunities in those matches, they've got to bury them. Grossman standing extremely strong in his shoulder duel with Saki. Here's Keats, substitute number 7. Robert Pratt, and other substitute number 26. Carlos Guerrero. Keelan Wright service, long ball, but the nod down comes to Connor Salmon. Aaron Meyer with Connor Salmon again. This is where I think the elevation and the cold weather is playing a huge role on the visiting Cardinals. It's not easy to come here, especially late in the game, 20 minutes left, to have that oxygen and just that fitness to, especially being down 3 goals, to fight your way back in.
Yeah, I agree, and I think truthfully, credit to the Wolverines. I think they've been so well organized defensively. It just made it tough for them, and now being down 3 goals, it's knocked a little wind, if you will, out of them.
Coach Greg Moss taking a lot of pride in defensive shape and goals against average. Former goalkeeper professionally out of the Portland Timbers, and playing under Clive Charles, he really prides himself on team goals against average. UVU leading the conference in shutouts with 7 overall. Colin Partee with 4. Derek Wilcox with 3. Here's Luna, shot from distance, right at Colin Partee. I think his argument of that first goal will be he wants that taken away because of the offside argument. But overall, pretty impressive performance so far. Incarnate Word has not had many shots on target. Patient build-up. Diego Serna finding Chandler badly. He does well to win 50-50 ball. The spacing from the Wolverines in these last 5 minutes has been excellent. Really stretching the Cardinals, making them chase.
And that's really what they just need to do right now. Just take care of the ball.
Layoff for Diego Serna, trying to get on his right foot. He does. Shot, deflection. Almost goes to that near post. Ball still in play? No, it is a corner kick. Looked like Kieran O'Boyle had started to lean and dive to that far post and took a deflection off his own defender and starts going to that near post. O'Boyle does well enough to get up on his feet again and leap to that near post to parry away for a corner. Aaron Meyer on the corner, near post. Connor Salmon wanting his 2nd of the season. Alfredo Zendejas comes back into the match, as well as Michael Forbes. Luna comes off, as well as Joe Brown. Looks like number 19 Grossman goes to that center back role instead of the holding mid. Here he is on the ball, finding Robert Pratt. Just about under 14 minutes. Goal in the second half came from Austin Buxton about 15 minutes ago. Cardinals got their goal. Still don't know who it was from. Our view was obscured about 5 minutes in. Dylan Kelly has been a standout performer for the Cardinals with 4 goals and 7 assists. He's seen very little of the ball. Back line from the Wolverines, Alex Neff, Giovanni making his life difficult. Any services into him has been in his head or his chest. Not easy to bring down.
Yeah, you're just doing a great job possessing the ball here, killing down the clock.
Bennett Sackey trying to win the ball back. He's got to be a bit stronger there to keep possession. But Hoffmeister comes to his rescue to win it back, but then he tries to back heel. Here's Aaron Meyer doing what he does best, bringing the game to his pace, his tempo, what he decides. It's Marshall Miller back to Aaron Meyer. Cardinals not really getting much of a sniff of ball unless the Wolverines have a bad pass.
Yeah, they almost look content to just let him possess the ball, not pressing at all.
They look extremely spent. And here's Diego Serna trying to find Carson Payton, and he has a heavy touch. Looks like almost a line change for the Cardinals coming off the bench. Looks like Vince Martinez is not happy with play right at the moment. Here the Cardinals coming back in. Keats working so hard. He's been probably their standout player, had more touches, has more completed passes than anyone on the team. But here's Hoffmeister picking off a pass. Facing up Grossman. Hoffmeister has a change of pace on his left foot, and Grossman slide tackle for a corner kick.
Yeah, just great defensive effort there not to get bent around, because Paul goes.
He does. Hoffy takes off. He's very much like Buxton. Change of pace, change of speed. I was surprised Grossman was able to get that final toe poke away. All right, substitutions coming in. Number 22, Sam Stewart. Number 4, Alonzo Gallegos. And number 23, Trinidad Luna. Coming off is number 5, Noah Keats. Number 11, O'Neal Moore. And number 10, Dylan Kelly. Carson Payton and Alex Neff both come off. And Thomas Loomis. Donette almost gets his second.
What a great service again by Aaron Meyer.
Thomas Loomis and Leonetti, I believe, come into the match. Again, we see the depth from number 21, Blake Leonetti, coming in minutes of the match. Badly Guerrero.
Well, we're back.
Sorry for a little bit of technical difficulties, weather playing a role in that. Here's Hoffmeister going at 2 players. No whistle, a little bit of slippage. Zendejas finding Forbes to Grossman. He switches to that left-hand side. Looks like O'Neal Moore. No, check that. 17. Alex Hoyle still stays in the match. For the moment, see how UNLV does over the weekend. They started with 3 points behind, so as long as Wolverines finish out, they'll finish in the top 2. Depending on how the Incarnate Word does on Sunday against Seattle University, they may have a chance to win the league with that game. So next Saturday night could be the league championship match. Marshall Miller has some pressure behind him. Zendejas. Colin Partiche punts this clear. Here's Guerrero going against Jasper Kirsten. Marshall Miller to help. 45 seconds. This more than likely will be the final score. Maybe one more chance for Incarnate Word to get a ball served into the box. And here's the chance, here's the service. Clearance finds Jasper, and here's Tyler to help secure. Finds his back line. 18 seconds, 15 seconds. But like I mentioned, next Saturday night, Seattle University, the Redhawks will come here to Clyde Field. I'm sure the Wolverines will want the 12th Wolverine involved and loud and crazy to really impact that game and help them to get that result. What are your final thoughts on the match?
Well, you know, if I'm the coaching staff and the Wolverine players, you've got to be pleased with the result tonight and their performance. I mean, you can only control what's in front of you right now, and they needed to keep this win to position themselves, like you said, for a potential conference championship, or at least be in the top 2 to secure a bye for the playoffs, which is going to be so critical as you get later in the season with the fatigue. So I think they're in a really great position, you know, and they've got to have a few things fall in their favor. Incarnate Ward, like you say, at Seattle. Go Cardinals, right?
Yeah, we'll be cheering for you
Wolverine
Sunday
fan.
afternoon, Cardinals. But in summary, again, the goal scorers first coming from your big man, Skylar Milne off the header. Paul Hoffmeister doubled the lead. And then Donette Saki soon after added a third to close out the opening half. And Austin Buxton adds the fourth in the second half to take the 4-1 advantage and victory in full 3 points. Remember, if they take first or second, they get a bye into the WAC conference tournament, into the semifinal. The winner of the conference gets an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. So things get interesting over the next couple of weeks. We're going to get warm. Thanks for joining us. Veronica, thanks for tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.